Good evening. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the webcast series, Women in Education and Technology, where we shine a spotlight on some extraordinary women leaders in these sectors. Education has experienced more change in the last 6 months than it probably has in the last 60 years. And everyone is interested in knowing what the future of education will look like and how technology will shape this tomorrow. We shall discuss all of this and more today. My name is Mayank, and I lead the education vertical at HP for Middle East, Africa, and Eastern Europe. My guest for today is Shameema Parveen, who's the co-founder and CEO of Edutech, a leading education technology company in Middle East, Africa, and India. Edutech has really pioneered EdTech in our region. I think even before people knew what EdTech meant, Shameema and her team were trailblazing the path for others to follow. Passionate about technology and learning, she continues to expand even today Edutech's solutions to really integrate future-ready skills and learning methods and make them relevant for learners and for educators. So welcome, Shameema.
Glad to be here, Mayank. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. I'm also honored to have as my co-host Karen Kahn, who's HP's Chief Brand and Communications Officer, reporting directly to the CEO. Karen has been a storyteller for her entire career, first as a journalist for the Wall Street and then going on to lead the technology practices for the world's largest communication agencies. She's also been an advocate of girls in engineering, having served on the board of Broadcom Foundation, focused on the urgency of girls in middle school STEM advancement. At HP, she is our chief storyteller, bringing the company's brand purpose and values to life. So welcome as well, Karen. And I'm going to hand over the stage to you now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What a great pleasure. Shameema, I'm excited to talk to you. So for 30 years, you've evangelized the power of technology to transform education. With COVID-19, the urgency of education and the need for inspiration has never been stronger or more important. Can you talk a little bit about your vision and what's propelled your leadership of Edutech for so long?
Sure, Karen, it's my pleasure. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of Edutech, and I co-founded the company along with my husband, Kareem. So when we set up Edutech in 1991 in the UAE, we didn't have a slightest inkling of what we see today with technology and with the progress in education pedagogy. But thanks to some great advisors and exposures with leading institutions and organizations around the world, we were beginning to see how education pedagogy was changing and the potential of technology to shape education for the future. And you're right that education has changed so much in the past 6 months. And currently, our future vision is to build future skills for the Industry 4.0 era that we live in and is looming ahead with, in the future. And bring in different credentials that are required in the future, like micro-credentials that are more important than a 4-year degree program that are beginning to be questioned right now by the industry. We are also working with libraries, which have a big role in providing access to information and databases for remote learning, specifically in helping them digitize the library materials. And obviously building skills in areas like artificial intelligence and assessments and remote proctoring, etc.
It's fantastic. I love your focus on lifelong learning for all different segments. But I have an important question for you because next week is International Day of the Girl, and inspiring the next generation of girls and women is just paramount to building equality for generations to come. As a woman entrepreneur in advanced education and technology, how do you promote equality through the programs from Edutech?
We also like to practice what we preach, Karen. So first of all, within Edutech, our work practices are women and especially new mother friendly. And apart from hiring women engineers in many aspects of our business. Now, regarding the programs, they are designed for both genders, men and women, boys and girls. Inclusion and diversity is important for us. But as a woman, I realized what girls experience with learning technology. Remember, I learned it all by myself, so I have that experience. I have to tell a side story over here. So in the early days of Edutech, we were hustling, performing multiple roles between us. So we had a call for a tech support from a large client. And when I reached the site to do the tech support, it was clear they were not expecting a woman to turn up with screwdrivers to change graphic cards in their desktop computers. So we still continue to break down such stereotypes with women in technical jobs. And we continue to do that. So what we do to include girls into Edutech STEM programs is to ensure that they can identify with the content we create, that as girls represented positively, as scientists, as engineers, some things that they can relate to. We also use technology resources that are built with more gender equality and diversity, like Little Bits or Hummingbirds or others. So they're not too overwhelming for young girls to get into technology. While we like to include both boys and girls in our programs together, we also conduct girls-only classes and programs if requested. Some of the situations it becomes necessary, and we like to provide that. And as you may also know, Karen, it greatly helps being situated in the UAE, which is making big strides in gender equality overall. When it comes to STEM, the Minister of State for Advanced Sciences is a woman. 56% of UAE graduates in STEM courses at government universities are women. And around 40% of the team working in the UAE Mars mission are women. So women over here and girls over here have good role models to look forward to, which is also a very important aspect in encouraging them to get into STEM careers and STEM education. I feel that we could be doing more with women being involved as mentors so that young girls can have someone work with them at a young age and shape their minds and ideas towards getting into technical jobs and careers that they can be contributing members of society.
Shameema, you are leading the way. Congratulations. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
I can only second that, Karen. I mean, that was so inspiring, hearing your own personal journey and then how you're actually, making way for the rest of the women and girls in education to shine. I think that was, something that really warms the heart, right? So, we together are also doing a lot of inspirational projects, right? Shameema, between HP and Edutech, we have collaborated on a few things, and the latest one being the Innovation Garage, the HP Innovation Garage, which we have launched in DTech. So, all these programs that we've collaborated on, and especially the latest one, how do you see the education community benefiting from these partnerships that you've created with us?
Yeah, first of all, Mayank, Edutech is pleased to be an ecosystem partner for the HP Innovation Garage in the area of STEM education. So the Innovation Garage is designed to help students from universities and schools develop transferable skills, right, and spark their interest in technologies. Now, with an inspiring design that has been designed for the garage, fitted out with modular furniture and some of the best learning technologies, I feel that the spaces is an example of how education, corporates, and community can come together to create a future learning environment. So every job in the future is going to be touched by technology. So this space is available to everybody.
I mean, your passion comes through so clearly, Shameema. I want to be a student again hearing you talk, right? I want to experience all of this all over again in terms of the technology and the way that technology is bringing the world at your doorstep, right? So how do the viewers who are listening to this and who are getting as enthused as me about the program, how do they get access to these programs at the HP Innovation Lab that Edutech is offering?
Right. So there's a link which will be provided for the lab. If you can click on that, people can come in there to register. It lists all the programs that the lab offers. You can also contact Edutech via our website, www.edutech.com, or email us as enquiry@edutech.com. And we look forward to welcoming the education community to the lab. Thank
you so much, Shameema. I mean, it's evening here in Dubai, but you have charged us with so much energy that I think I'm prepared to go for another 24 hours right now. So thank you for being on the webcast.
It's been our pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you, Karen, for being the most engaging and wonderful co-host.
Oh, my pleasure. And gosh, Shameema, maybe it's too late for me to become a young girl in STEM, but after hearing you, I wish that I could. So keep inspiring the next generation.